knew we had this huge £1 billion plus programme of investment, and we were thinking about what's all the cool stuff we could do, and we just had this burning desire to bring the chandeliers back to life, but in truth I had no idea how to go about it. In fact, we didn't even know where they were. And then just one day, the first thing happened. I just got this email out of the blue from someone at the Science Museum saying, I found a box that's got your chandeliers inside it. For 3 years we've been scratching our head. In the space of 7 days, it all became unblocked and all the dots got joined together, and that's how the whole idea was born.
I think the chandeliers in Terminal 1 were iconic. When the terminal was built in 1962, it was a very sleek, modern terminal, a real statement by the City of Manchester that it was looking ahead to the future, to the jet age. But these chandeliers were almost a throwback to that golden age of travel. But they were iconic, they were just a statement. 1,300 pieces of blown glass brought over from the Venice region. They just became a landmark of the airport, and everybody noticed them. You couldn't help but notice them,
I get invited to a dinner by the university and I get sat next to a woman. I start telling her about the project and this idea that we've got, and she says, why don't you come to our design school next week?
It's been amazing having the airport as a collaborator this year. Obviously all the students know Manchester Airport, so it was a popular one for them to choose. But it's really important in terms of kind of thinking differently about the airport as well. So in terms of what does that mean to the community of Manchester, the city, but also kind of globally, but as well as their sustainability and how they're kind of thinking about regeneration and how they think about their own master plan and what it means and how it can feel, I guess.
Today was all about what are these guys going to have come up with, are they going to have seen and thought of the same things that we've been thinking of when we first thought of the project, so really great to take the wraps off the designs. Any time we mentioned Manchester Airport to anyone, we found that the first thing they were saying 9 times out of 10 was chandeliers, and that's when we just realised we've absolutely got to do something to bring these back to life.
My name's Simon Cave. I'm the Airfield Senior Engineering Manager here at Manchester. I started in 1983 as an apprentice, an engineering apprentice. Part of our duties was we had to change the lighting in and around the chandeliers. Well, my dad was an airport policeman.
All right.
All those years ago, before it became Greater Manchester Police. And they split it up. It either became a policeman or you became a security officer. And my dad chose to be a policeman, and he worked here for 30 years as a police officer.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So the airport runs in the family?
Yeah. He'll have the right key. How are you, mate?
All right, you?
Yeah. This is the roof where the chandeliers are. This is the building. This is the departure lap. And that's the main roof for it. And on the top of there used to be devices that would track the sun. So
the
sun, that's the north. That's the east, that's the south, that's the west. So the sun rises on the east, sets in the west, and it would track it across that sky there, and the mirrors would move, reflecting the natural light down into the chandeliers. But all that mechanism has been removed and taken away, yeah. We are currently in the ceiling void above Terminal 1 departures, which is where we used to access the lighting. I really can't wait to see it. It'd be absolutely fabulous. It's amazing. And the first thing I said when I saw the introduction to it in Olympic House was, can I get a piece? Because I'd have put it up in my house and fixed the light to it and made it, if I could get a piece of that, that would be brilliant. It's just airport history. It's just it's old Ringway. It's not Manchester Airport, it's Ringway. It's part of Ringway. It's where it started. It's just fabulous.
I'm Liam Hopkins. I'm a Manchester-born artist, designer, maker, and I run a studio called Lazarian, which is where we're here today. I was contacted from the Manchester Airport Group about rebirthing the iconic chandeliers from Terminal 1, recreating something new, hopefully iconic for the North. I don't always take on projects. They've got to fit with an ethos and a thing with myself and have some kind of meaning. You know, a beautiful thing to do. So I was obviously, you know, up for the challenge really.
I guess the main aim is to reintroduce the chandeliers, keeping a lot of the elements the same, but bringing a new twist to it. As architecture students, we do a lot of sort of reusing projects, reusing materials and things like that. We always have a sustainable sort of mindset. And I know that the airport as well are keen to bring in a sustainable sort of aspect. Recreating forms and things like that would be a really good sort of way of reusing, but also keeping sort of the significance of its past.
I was a student at Manchester School of Art and I've taught there as well. So it's been nice to actually do a project with the students, see their thoughts, where they want to take it. Just a beautiful collaborative project between them, the airport themselves. For first year students to be involved in a project like this is unbelievable. It's nice to see the excitement within them and how they've taken the public's thoughts and then started to turn them into concepts and narratives.
So we brought the concept to the School of Architecture, but what was great was the university then introduced us to Liam, was the local studio, and they just said, right, what you need to do now, work with the students to sort of pick the favourite, hone in on a favourite. Liam took it from there, worked us through 3 different options. We took it on the road, asked as many different people as we possibly could which one the favourite was. I feel like any organisation in Manchester, for good reason, wants to do something with bees. And Liam was really clear, he didn't want to do something cliched, and he actually had one idea where he had real bees, a colony of bees, working on actually making a honeycomb within a set frame. And then the parachutes, it was just fantastic because you could see the tiny little touches he was putting in there. We actually borrowed something from the bee design by having the hexagon tags, the honeycomb tags, which is just a little nod to the sort of Manchester industrial past and something that means we can personalise the design to all the different people who had a part in it.
Hello, we're Colin and Christine Banks. We're the Mayor and Mayoress of Knutsford. We have really fond memories of the time when Terminal 1 had the teardrop chandeliers. They were iconic really for us.
On the voting slip is the 3 different design concepts. Once they've chosen which one, I then cut out a token from here which they then place their vote, which one they'd like to see developed into the final design. So it's been really nice to engage with the public and get their views and be able to explain the concepts in more detail and answer any questions that they have. The one that was chosen, which was heavily based around the parachutes and the paratroopers, I wanted a really nice link with parachutes now actually made. Kind of wanted to capture that sense of flight and that sense of almost weightlessness that they do look like bits of cloud movements. Looked into how the actual parachutes were constructed, were the ones that we use at Ringway during the training. So they had 26 divisions. So I wanted to kind of bring that division into it as a nice little nod back. And at first there was a lot of trials and errors. I'll show you some that's in here. So at first was getting temperatures right. This was too much, but there's something quite beautiful in this in itself that I like for something else. But then starting to play with this thing of injecting air into it, I knew that started to get this sense of what I wanted to achieve. So kept playing around with temperatures and things, and then started to get the desired form that I wanted to kind of capture this parachute cloud-like object. So these are 26 divisions, the same as how the parachutes were at Ringway. And then after this started to work, I realised that I still wanted a little bit of originality with it. I didn't want it to look like a mass-produced thing, so realised that if you give it a little bit more pressure or a little less pressure, you started to get little differentials that made it look more organic and actually got movement. And then changed the form a little bit, so some are a little bit moved around, so a little bit more organic. And then the third option is then actually going back to how the flight paths are out of the airport and capturing them line works. So the line works of the divisions is actually the flight paths out of the airport. I think it was a really nice touch to bring in for the piece. So this is a little 1:50 model of the space. So these are little parachutes. Yeah. So and these are the same material. So these are looking at how can I arrange the different kind of colours and the different tints to capture that kind of cloudscape and that walking through towards the opening of the sunlight. Yeah. It's still got that sense of what the originals were doing, where you've got this kind of beautiful array of all this glass coming through, creating these like waterfalls. But instead of the dense, we're kind of then taking it out to create more of a volume of space. And I think because of that, you appreciate the glass even more as well.
10 years ago, the idea of doing some work to Terminal 2 really started, and 1.3 billion pounds later, we're coming to the conclusion of this massive transformation program that's totally transformed Manchester Airport's experience for passengers.
And I think it's done more than that, Chris. I think it's drastically improved our experience here for our passengers, but also for the people that work here at Manchester Airport. We're really proud to be able to, put this level of investment in that Chris has talked about, but really provides, a place to work that people enjoy coming to and enjoy being part of.
I'm so excited to see it in this space and actually starting to see the formations come to life and the colour, because we're in quite a white space, so these bursts of colour from the ceiling, I'm really excited to see this shift and bit of energy that's going to be brought to this area. To see it come to fruition is, this is the exciting bit. Seeing them in the studio and hung and played around with colour formations, but actually getting them in the final setting is the exciting bit. There's this kind of beautiful colour shift, like cloudscape and sunscape, that just start off with a really grey, grim northern sky. So then literally you're walking out into the sunset where you've got these beautiful oranges and yellows, what picks people's emotions up and makes them feel nice. It's a beautiful thing to see this culmination of people's energy being brought into this final piece. The other beautiful bit about this is they're going to link back to people who's worked with the transformation programme at the airport. So they'll do a nice little link back with a number. So each one of them are numbered employees and what have you that's been part of the project. They'll get a commemorative coin tag, which is the same, but I've made them out of brass. I've made these in an alloy, which I wanted it to link with like aircraft, so the same way what you make an airplane from. But yeah, I wanted the ones where the employees get is more tangible and almost go into like collector coin. So I made them out of brass and a nice kind of link back to kind of heritage as well. So it's that the two coming together.
Nice. And have you got one? Are you going to have a little tag of your own?
Yeah, I'm not sure what number yet.
You get to decide which number.
Yeah.
Be right in the middle. Will it be the grey one or will it be the most colourful?
It depends on how I feel.
So after all these years, what started as just an idea in someone's head, and then a few chance encounters, were finally here, unveiling the final design and celebrating it with our colleagues. And I think for us as a team, it's really great because we're aware that there's some projects that just wouldn't happen if we sort of drove them forward. But I think what's really nice about it is you can see that everybody who works here, it's really tapping into how proud they are about the airport and what it means for the city and means for the region. And I think we're all holding it together today, but I think every single one of us who's worked on it and all the stresses and strains of getting the design across the line or getting the costs approved or whatever it may be, the first time we actually saw it hung up, you know, you couldn't help but be a bit choked up and a bit emotional about it. So I'm glad I'd seen it before today, so that I didn't make a show of myself today.
Super round of applause for Lucy.
I think they're amazing. I like how everyone here nods to them in a different way. You know, that's what art's about. It's about what you think and what your interpretation it is. So being able to say they're parachutes or they're clouds or jellyfish or whatever you want to call it, it's been great, and yeah, I hope everyone enjoys it.
So seeing it now with fresh eyes in daylight is it's been great, and I'm really proud of the overall piece, how it's come together, the beautiful shift of the colours, and how people naturally are inquisitive about what is it, and you can see the kind of questions through the people travelling through here, just as we've been here today, is just, you know, what is it, and just that beautiful sense of calmness that it creates.
I remember these chandeliers being up in Terminal 1 when I was a kid. We would see them when we were either going away on holiday or we were going out to have a look at the planes, walking down what's now Pier B. So yeah, iconic, remember them.
I think my bit is when I walk through the terminal and I go upstairs as well, and you see it from the higher level, from the mezzanine level. As I walk through my working week and see people sat upstairs having a coffee and looking out and commenting on it and pointing to it, and it just gives that bit of a distraction as well, that it's not coming through a security area, but there's something to look at on the other side. And having seen some of the kids and parents kneeling down having photos underneath it as well, it just gives a really good feel and start to your journey and start to your holiday as well. So yeah,
those chandeliers in Terminal 1 were they were the icon of Manchester Airport, and when they sort of disappeared, it was quite a shame really. So I'm really glad that they've come back, and certainly glad that they've come back in the guise that they're in, because they've done a fantastic job, really fantastic.
Now you see it now, when you stand there and you look down this corridor, this hallway, and see what it looks like. It's fabulous, absolutely fabulous. It looks different again at night. It looks different from the lounges, looking out to the big windows, looking through it all. It's a great addition to the airport, and people will, you know, when word gets out, they'll be absolutely blown away by it. It's fabulous.
It's still capturing them stories, and that's what I kind of love about using materials that's already kind of breathed a life, and it's been the eyes of the airport, you know, and will carry on capturing the stories of people that walk through for generations, and you know, the younger ones that go through it will now have this sense of connection, whether it's the first holiday, the first family holiday, the time when they went away. And that's what I love about that kind of connection with space and how art can do that. And I really hope that it becomes as, you know, half as iconic as what the original ones did.